Hello, welcome back to the channel. Oh, I need to turn this a little bit. In today's video, we are going to be basically just speaking about life and, the things that come along with it and the struggles that, people have in this life. And I don't know who needs to hear this, but maybe this will help you. Like I've been, I have struggled with this most of my life, and maybe me explaining some things, might help you out. This is gonna be just like an uncut video. I don't want it to be too long. I want to keep it around like 10 minutes or so. But we're just gonna talk about, depression and all of these other, illnesses that are trumping a lot of people. And I just want to start out with, you're not alone. There are a bunch of other people that may not seem like they're depressed, may not seem like they have a lot of these problems like anxiety and a bunch of different mental problems, but there are a lot more people with them than you would believe. I want to start out by saying that whatever is happening, don't do what I did, and you need to go and speak to somebody as soon as possible. You need to talk to somebody because it does help. You need to get you need to express these things to people, because keeping it bottled up inside is not the way to go. I'm gonna just get into my experience in my personal life throughout all of middle school, high school, just past elementary school. When I got into 6th grade, I went to a middle school called Harding Middle School for a year, and everything was fine there. Can't really remember anything happening there. But then I failed because I had not did any homework, because when I was in elementary school they didn't have you do homework mandatory. So when I went to middle school from elementary school in 6th grade, I didn't think I had to do any of my homework. I was failing. I failed. I got a letter in the mail to go to a charter school called LCA, called Lakewood City Academy in Lakewood, Ohio. When I started going to this charter school, the letter gave me the opportunity to do 6th grade half of the year, get my credits for that, and then do 7th grade the other half of the year. And basically in one full year I'll have the credits for 6th and 7th grade, so that I can be on track, basically like I didn't fail and get set back a whole year, so I can, then the next year be in 8th grade. Well, long story short, that didn't matter, because in the end I didn't pass Ohio graduation tests. The only two I passed was reading and writing, which were my worst two subjects. Math, social studies, science, all of that, it was a very much so a struggle. I had a teacher called Mr. DiNardo, Dante DiNardo. He's the GOAT. If anyone is watching this channel that knows me from high school, knows that Dante DiNardo was the GOAT, cared about everybody. He would stay after 2-3 hours with me studying, so I passed this test. I ended up passing all the OGTs, but how it worked was you had 2 years. This is going to be uncut, so you're going to see me mess up a lot of what I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to remember it as I'm talking. You had 2 times in one school year to do the OGT testing. So essentially, I got held back a year and a half because it took me 3 extra tries on these tests to pass these 3 OGTs that I needed to pass. So I took them the first time. I had to wait a few months to take it a second time, and then I had to wait till the next school year to take it the third time. Out of the 3 times extra it took me to graduate. Now, alongside but besides all of that stuff, through 6th/7th, that 1 year grade, and then 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, basically all my high school and middle school years, I was bullied. I coped with doing drugs. I did a lot of things that I shouldn't have done. And I didn't get help because I didn't think that I needed help. I didn't talk to anybody. I recently just talked to my parents about all this stuff. And they didn't know I was getting bullied. They didn't know I was doing I was doing I was doing I never did mild, I never did coke, I never did none of that stuff. But I was doing a bunch of different I was I don't even think I could speak about any of this on YouTube, so I'm just gonna have to mute this, but I was doing a lot of different substances that I shouldn't have been doing, and I was doing all those to cope with basically depression from being bullied and anxiety from being bullied. Every day I would go into school, people would, I got into a few fights because people, push me, do these things. Not really like fights like. I wouldn't say that I really fought anybody, but I like tried to, push people back and other things, trying to not, have them do like those things, take advantage of me in a way. But the main person, his name is Joseph Johnson, I would walk in school and he'd walk by me and be like, oh, like just random stupid things, like just to like look cool. People would talk about me. People would, this one dude, Omar, would kind of just like push me and shove me and other things. I got slammed on a table. I got pushed up against a wall by this dude, LaShawn Green. Don't know where he's at. There was a dude, Sonny, who ended up pushing me, so I pushed him back. He picked me up and slammed me on a table. Just a bunch of nonsense crap that I had coped with by doing illegal substances at the time. Now the only legal one is marijuana, but all the other ones are still illegal, as they should be. And recently I talked to my parents and other people, my pastor Mike. If you see the video for Sunday church, he preaches and talks about Matthew 25. I had a conversation, about an hour-long conversation with him. I've just been talking to more people about the problems, and it's helped a lot. But before that, it was a long 15 years of me doing different substances and buying different things. Now, the one thing I want to say is do not be like me. Material things, will only make you happy in a short period of time, for a short period of time, and then it just goes back to the same old thing. You have the item for a little bit, you think it's gonna help you, and then you go back to the same struggle you had. I'd say maybe two weeks later or so, I bought some things that I didn't need, some things I never used, some things that I thought I wanted that would make me happy, but they don't make you happy for the long term. You're just sitting there covering up for things that happened in the past with material things that don't matter. They don't make you happy in the long term. I bought a nice watch. Made the excuse that I need a watch. Well, I have this Apple Watch that does the same thing. I didn't need this. Why did I buy another watch? I was like, yeah, I need a watch. I bought this nice watch. I mean, I wear it here and there, but I find myself not, liking it as much as I did. And I find myself not wearing it as much as I should if I, quote, needed the watch. And why did I need the watch if I have an Apple Watch? It tells the time. it was a coping mechanism, right? Same thing with some earrings. Give me 2 seconds, I want to get those really quick. So I bought these nice earrings, and they have this thing here from Trax NYC, which he's the GOAT, not gonna lie to you. Got this thing, got this card here. I have his like story here, and I have an appraisal for these said earrings from Trax NYC. Now I bought these again. For the one reason I bought them is because I wanted to look cool. In reality, nobody even cares, honestly. But these are the earrings. I love the earrings. They're blue sapphires with a diamond in the middle, but I don't wear them. And again, I don't wear them because I bought them trying to validate myself and make myself happy, when it was still me just covering up the depression and anxiety and other things, the material things that I do not need. Now, why am I making this video? I'm making this video because I don't want other people doing what I did. It's not even just those. Like, it's clothes, shoes, just looking for like appreciation from people because I never was appreciated from, like, my parents and stuff, you know, showed appreciation. My true friends, well, there's only a few of them. The ones I could think of off the top of my head are Nicole Collins, one of my best friend actually. Antonio Stewart, one of my closest buddies. Aaron Sims, another one of my closest buddies. There's only a handful of people that I can think of off the top of my head who actually showed genuine appreciation besides my parents. And I was seeking validation from people that don't care about me and people that aren't even in my life anymore, buying shoes to look cool and fit in, and buying clothes to look cool and fit in. Another few people is Robert, my boy Cheetos, and his girlfriend Tiffany. Those are a couple other people I could think of. People were just coming to my head. But again, there's probably less than 10 people who actually appreciate me as like a friend, who don't care what I wear, and who don't care what I, have as material belongings. And I'm like wearing things and buying things and all this stuff to get validation from people who don't care about me. And it's all just a cover up. The clothes, the Spider clothes, Spider's a brand Young Thug owns, the Supreme Nike stuff that I have. I did buy one thing that I absolutely love. I'm not going to lie to you. One piece of clothing that I do not regret buying is this right here. I don't know if you could read that, if it's going to focus or not. But I'm going to go hang this back up. That piece of clothing and my Red Hot Chili Peppers coat that I got from the Red Hot Chili Peppers concert are the only two actual pieces of clothing that I like, that I've bought. I like the other ones, but like, they're just a waste of money, because again, it was like me trying to buy stuff that's popular and like a brand. Like, I have a vest, the Nike collab with Supreme vest I don't even wear. I have spider hoodies that cost freaking $300 because they were sold out. I bought them on Goat because I wanted a spider hoodie and they weren't dropping any on their website. At the time, they had like a little drought of not dropping anything, and I just wanted a spider piece like that so I could look cool. And these shoes that I have on my feet, I wear them because I'm gonna wear them, but they're the black and red and white Jordan 11 breads, the low ones. I bought those, paid $260 for those from Heat Archive. Shout out Heat Archive, they're cool. They're cool people. But I went there to just, buy the shoes just so I could look cool. Like I bought most of the stuff, 90% of the stuff so I could just look cool to be validated by people that don't care about me. And at the end of the day, I would hate to see, and I'm not going to know these people, I'm not going to know what's going on with their life, but I would hate for people to waste their money on things that they can, actually get help with that money if it needs to be them paying for therapy, or there might be free therapy lines that you can get a hold of. But if you can't and you have insurance and you can pay whatever it costs for therapy, that's just ultimately the better route than buying a whole bunch of material things to get validation from people who ultimately just don't care about you. I just wanted to speak on that. If you do need help, get help. I'll get the link from, I watch Bryson Crawford, and he does like podcast stuff about about Jesus. He does podcasts with people about the Word of God, and I wish I would have known this before. I didn't want to spend money on therapy because I didn't think it would help, but now I don't have the money to spend on therapy, and I'm grateful to be able to speak to other people like my parents and my pastor, which has helped. So I don't think I need to go to therapy at the moment. But circling back, I'm gonna go. There's a where Jesus saved Bryson Crawford, and he basically posted a video of how he was saved in Waffle House. And towards the end of the video, he has a link to get free mental, free help, free therapy for mental issues like depression and anxiety and all that stuff. So I'll get that link and I'll post it right here on the screen for you guys to go in. I think it's like a link and a phone number for you guys to go check out. Because if you are going through problems mentally in life, you're not alone. Again, you are not alone. And you can get help, and you can get better, and it will get better. It always gets better. But that's going to be it's going to be just the uncut, just me speaking, what's the word? I don't know what word I was trying to use, but this is coming from you genuinely. If you need help, go get some help. Because I wish I would have a lot sooner than I did. This is going to be the end of this video. It's been your boy, Health Place, and I'm out. Peace. I forgot to mention, if this video does help you guys,